Grade Junior Tickies, I'm Mrs. Brimacombe. We're going to look now at Chapter 1, Cash Journals of a Trading Business. A reminder, in Grade 8, the focus was a service business. In Grade 9, the focus will be a trading business. So you're going to do everything that you've learned in Grade 8, completing cash journals, completing the accounting equation, the general ledger, the trial balance. But now we're going to add to that, and you're going to learn even more because the focus is now going to be a trading business. So we're also going to look at in Grade 9 at different types of transactions. So this is why it is so important at any stage. If you are battling with a general ledger, with a trial balance, with cash journals, go back to Grade 8 and go and study the theory booklets. Go and practice all those activities and then move on to Grade 9 with a trading business. So when we're talking about a trading business, it means that which I'm trading with. I'm buying from and I'm selling to. So that is what we call our trading stock. If I've got a business and I am selling stationery, when I buy stationery, that will be my trading stock, that which I'm trading with. If I've got a furniture business and I'm buying furniture, that will be now my trading stock, that in which I'm trading with. So when I'm buying trading stock, it's going to cost me money. And my aim in my business is to make money, to make profit. So I want to sell it for more than what it cost me. And that's why we're going to add a markup. So this activity is going to focus on accounting theory and cost calculations because it is so important that you understand that. So go back also, before you start with this activity, go through the theory booklet and then start with this. Question 1.1, accounting cycle. Use the word bank provided to complete the accounting cycle sequence. So in our accounting cycle, our first step is a transaction must take place. For every single transaction, there must be proof, evidence that that transaction took place, and that is what we call a source document. Then we can post it to the relevant journal, and relevant journal, yes, there's 8 different journals, technically 10 different journals which you are going to learn. And you've only done now a cash receipts journal and a cash payment journal with a service business. Now we're going to look at the same in this chapter, but with a trading business. So you have to post, each transaction will have their own evidence proof of that transaction and their own specific journal. From there, at the end of the month, we're going to post it to the general ledger, which is a summary of all of my journals. Then we complete the trial balance to see have we applied the double entry principle correctly. Have we done this whole process up to this point? Have we done it correctly? So that we can complete the next step, our financial statements. So this is a basic format of the accounting cycle. Question 1.2 is classifications of accounts, and I'm going to emphasize again, if you're not able to classify accounts correctly, then you will find the accounting challenging. So make sure that you study these basics consistently. Vehicles is regarded as a non-current asset. You didn't need to identify if it's current, short-term or long-term, non-current. I'm just going to add that now while I'm explaining. Stationery is an expense to the business. Cash in the bank means that we've got money in our bank account, which is regarded as an asset, a short-term asset, current assets. Drawings is regarded as an owner's equity account, which is a direct owner's equity account. Sales and income. Trading stock, which I've mentioned earlier, it's that which I'm trading with. That is regarded as an asset, a current asset. As soon as I'm selling it, I'm converting that into cash. Debtors is people who owe us money, the business money. That is a current asset. Creditors is people who the business owe money to. That's why it's regarded as a current liability. Cost of sales is the cost of the goods that we have sold. And that is regarded as an expense to the business. It's going to decrease my income. Remember, when I'm selling goods, sales is involved. We've received an income. But that selling of goods cost us money. So that's why we open up an account which is called cost of sales. It's a non-cash item. It's very important that you understand that, because sales minus cost of sales is what I'm actually making, which is called the gross profit from this transaction, from buying and selling to the customer. Fixed deposit is regarded as an asset, and to be more specific, a non-current asset. It's a long-term asset. Question 1.3, cost calculations. So the first question says, number A, calculate the selling price. They provided you with the cost and they provided you with the markup. And this is now important to understand. To understand how to calculate the selling price when the cost is given, how to calculate the cost if the selling price is given. To calculate the selling price, we have to take the cost times 100 plus the markup percentage divided by 100. So 100 plus 50 equals 150. My selling price is 27,000. Another way of calculating it, if your cost price is 18,000 and we added 9,000 to that to make a profit, how much am I going to sell it for? 18,000 plus 9,000 equals 27,000. With number 2, we need to solve B. Now we need to calculate the cost. So to calculate our cost, we have to take the selling price times 100 divided by 100 plus the percentage markup. So these are your studying, these are formulas that you need to study. If you study it, you will get it 100% correct. So to calculate that, we are going to take 44,940 times 100 divided by 175, because the markup was 75%. Another way of calculating it, selling price minus gross profit equals the cost price. But I want you to understand how to use the markup percentage. You could have also said, remember, it's all about what do I want to calculate over what has been given. So you could have also said 19,260 times 100 divided by 75, and that will give you the same answer. Number C, we have to calculate the selling price, use the cost times 4 divided by 3. That equals 11,000. Alternatively, you could have said 1 divided by 3 equals 33333, recurring. So if I want to calculate the selling price, take the cost times 133,3 recurring divided by 100. If you get a decimal, you just need to round it off. For number D, I've got more than one option. I can take 11,000 times 1 divided by 3 equals 2,750. Or you could have said selling price minus cost equals. So there's another way of calculating it. Right, then the next one, number E. To calculate the cost when the selling price is given, times 100 divided by 200. Why 200? It is your selling price times 100 divided by 100 plus the percentage markup. So 100 plus 100 equals 200. To calculate the gross profit, I've got now more than one option. We can take the selling price minus the cost equals the gross profit, or you can say times 100 divided by 200. It's what do I want to calculate over what has been given. For number 5, number G, to calculate the markup percentage, take your selling price minus cost divided by the cost. So what did I say earlier to you? Your selling price minus cost equals the gross profit. So take the gross profit divided by cost times 100. That equals 25%. Now we can calculate our selling price, but we've got two options as well, more than one option. Take your cost times 125 divided by 100. Alternatively, 1,600 plus 400 equals the 2,000. This is to illustrate to you this whole table, the different ways in which I can get to exactly the same answer. But what is very important to understand is how to use these percentages. I'm going to remind you. Number 1, if I want to calculate the selling price, we take the cost price times 100 plus percentage markup divided by 100. To calculate the cost and the selling price is given, take the selling price times 100 divided by 100 plus the percentage markup. To calculate your gross profit, it's your selling price minus cost price. To calculate the markup percentage, take the gross profit divided by cost of sales times 100, because percentages is always out of 100. Again, refer to the theory booklet and go and study these formulas. The next that we need to calculate, 1.3.2, the business uses the secret cost code background where B starts with 0. Use the secret code to calculate the cost and the markup percentage achieved. So this is another way in which we can calculate the cost, is by using the secret code. And it's so important for you to read the instructions, because the first letter can start with 1, or the first letter, like instructed here, starts with 0. And if you get that wrong, you're going to completely calculate the cost incorrectly. So for the first one, the price tag is the selling price, and then they've assigned a secret code to each one of them. So let's start with the first one, number 1. The word background, B, starts with 0, so now each letter will be numbered. Now we can use that secret code to find out the cost. So the first one is A, which is 1, O, which is 6, B, which is 0, then that dash means now we're moving on to cents, and B is 0 and 0. So this means the cost is 160. To calculate the markup percentage achieved, take the selling price minus the cost divided by the cost times 100. That means the markup percentage that we've achieved was 40%. The same will now be done with the second one. We use the secret code, background. K is the number 3. R, number 5. So there's 2, so it's 5, 5. Dash B, 0, 0. This means 355. To work out the markup percentage achieved, take the selling price minus cost divided by cost times 100. So my markup percentage was 80%. For the socks, the last one, the secret code is BGO, dash RB. So this means we use the same word. B is 0, G is 4, O 6, dash means we're moving on to cents, 5, and B for 0. This means that the cost is 46 Rand and 50 cents. To work out the markup percentage achieved, selling price minus cost divided by cost times 100. That equals the markup percentage achieved. In the next question, they've asked it slightly different. The business uses the secret code cost or the secret cost code, fruitcakes, and now F starts with 1. So now we're just going to number each one of them where F starts with 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And the first question says now calculate the cost, assign the secret cost code to each item. So it wasn't given to you. So to do this now, we need to work out the cost. To work out the cost, take the selling price times 100 divided by 100 plus the percentage markup. And the percentage markup was 70%. This is why we say times 100 divided by 170. And that equals 390. So now I'm going to use the word fruitcakes and I'm going to look at each number and where does it fit in with which letter, and that will be my secret code that will be assigned. So they've asked it now the opposite way around. The 3 is U, the 9, E, S is for 0. Dash means we start moving to cents. So again, I'm going to remind you, read the instructions carefully and see with what the first letter starts. Otherwise, you're going to get this completely wrong. Then we've got number 2. To work out the cost, take the selling price, which is given to you, times 100 divided by 170. Use the secret code and now find the code. The S, it's 12 Rand. So S means 0. F, 1. R, 2, dash, SS, because it's 0 cents. For the third one, to calculate the cost, take the selling price, which is 136, times 100 divided by 170. To get the secret code, use the word fruitcakes and take now the numbers and look for the specific letter. 80 Rand, that's why we start with S for 0. Then K is the 8 and S0 dash SS for 0 cents. So this is actually very easy if you understand what to do. Now moving on to the next one. Question number 4. Talksum cell phones use the product code method. Then again, this is another way of indicating the cost. They issued the following cash slip. Calculate the following by completing the table in the space provided. The gross profit made and the markup percentage achieved. So here you can see that each product, Flexi Mobile, Sonic Mobile, is assigned a specific product code, and that code indicates the cost. On your cash slip will be the selling price, not the cost. So you would refer to that number and that will tell you exactly what the cost of that item is. So starting with Flexi Mobile, 2 Flexi Mobiles was sold. The cost is 2,500 for each one, so the total is 5,000. To calculate the gross profit, take the total sales minus the total cost equals gross profit. So to calculate the markup percentage achieved, take the selling price minus cost divided by the cost times 100. And as I've said earlier, what do we call the selling price minus cost? The gross profit. And that's what we've calculated on top. For Sonic Mobile, it's a little bit easier. There were only one of them sold, and the cost of that specific item for that specific product was 5,900. The gross profit is my total selling price minus the cost. To work out the markup percentage, take the gross profit divided by cost times 100. Now we just need to calculate the total. So my total cost for both items, just add that together, 10,900. The total gross profit made for those two items, just add the gross profit, 2,250 plus 2,655. To calculate the markup percentage achieved, take the gross profit divided by the total cost times 100, and you would see that it works out exactly the same, and it should 45%. So again, I want to please emphasize, study the theory booklet. If you do not know how to do these cost calculations and understand the new terminology related to a trading business, then you're going to find it challenging to complete. So make sure that you go and study that. Whatever makes you uncomfortable is your biggest opportunity for growth. Thank you very much, Mrs. Brimacombe.